At Health and Wellness, and this is Karen, and she'll be videoing us, so we'll be able to reflect upon this video later. So Megan, you're starring in it there. And we developed this program just as a response to need that we heard from a lot of people, that they really want to cook more, but they're really not sure what to do to get started, and that's what this program is designed to do. So first, what I want to do is just show you a couple of different types of knives. People look at cooking shows, for example, or maybe magazines, and they feel like they have to have a lot of different knives to be able to prepare the foods they want to prepare, and that's not necessarily the case, okay? So this one is a chef's knife, and if you look, this is all, most of this of what I'm saying to you is going to be in your packet, so, but this is really an all-purpose knife here. Sometimes it's called a butcher knife, but chef's knife is popular. You'll find it either in an 8-inch or a 10-inch length. And this is going to be just a general, all-purpose sort of utility knife. You can use it for chopping big things or little things, big pieces, little pieces, and also use it as a scoop if you need to, okay? And then, Julie, I'm just going to borrow this one. This is a paring knife, right? And this is the other knife I think you should have in your arsenal. So this is good for chopping very small things. If you like to hand chop or hand peel potatoes, for example, sometimes your mom or grandma might have done that, right? But really, these two knives are pretty much all you need, okay? You can get them anywhere, all right? They've got them at Target, they've got them online. Anything you need done, you can pretty much get done with these two. If you want to spend the time or spend the money, I guess, to get another knife, a serrated knife is another good option. This is good for cutting bread and cutting tomatoes. All right, if anyone has had difficulty maybe sawing through a really ripe tomato with a knife, okay, this serrated knife is going to help you do that because the teeth grab onto the thin skin of the tomato. So if you want to get a third one, I would definitely recommend that. I don't know your name, but I'm going to just look at your cleaver there for a second, if that's all right.
Sure.
This is also a good option here. This is a nice knife. It's got nice weight to it. And this is also good for cutting through bone if you do a lot of meat cooking, right? It's great for vegetables too. They do make separate, thank you, vegetable and meat cleavers, but really what you're going to look for on those is going to be that width of the blade, and it makes it easy for, again, scooping things off the board. All right? So once you have your knives picked out, you do want to make sure that you know how to hold it, okay? So if everyone wants to pick up their knife, and you're going to make kind of make believe that you're holding a tennis racket, okay, or shaking somebody's hand, all right? And that's the kind of ease that you want to have with the handle. That's the sort of control that you want to have over the handle. You'll notice that I've got my thumb on the hilt of the knife, just below the blade, okay? And I've got my finger kind of wrapped around the blade to use as a guide, okay? So the thumb's going to give you some control, and the finger's going to be used as a guide. Can everyone see that? Okay, so that's basically how you want to do it. You don't want to have like a death grip on it, okay? And you want to be able to have some control. This is going to help you later, all right? So just imagine you're holding a tennis racket or shaking hands, all right? And then anytime you use a knife, you want to make sure it's sharp, okay? A dull knife is way more dangerous than a sharp knife, okay? Because if you have a dull knife, you're going to be exerting a lot of pressure and a lot of force trying to get that knife through whatever you're cutting, and that's where catastrophe can happen, okay? So with a sharp knife, you have that ease, you have that control, and you won't, even if you cut yourself, it's going to be a much better cut, trust me, all right? So if anyone has a Sharpening Steel, I didn't tell you to bring one, but does anyone have one of these at home? All right, do y'all know how to use it? Okay, so it just kind of sits there in the block, right? That looks really cool, all right. Yeah, so ideally, this is really for using every maybe 5 or 6 times you use the knife. Some people will say every 2 times you use the knife, but we're not that hardcore here. So, but this is going to keep sort of a general edge on the knife. You should still take it to be sharpened professionally if you can, you know, a few times a year, depending on how often you use your knife. They used to do this at some grocery stores. I'm not sure if that still happens. There are sort of knife professionals around the area that would be able to sharpen it for you. So that's a good idea if you really are going to use your knife fairly often. But if you're doing this at home, okay, you're going to hold the knife the same way, all right? So you can see I've still got some control here. And you're going to hold the knife, there's a few different ways you can hold the sharpener. The one with the most stability is going to be holding the sharpener against the cutting board like this. I mean, if you want to watch cooking shows, you'll see, you know, it's like super fast and everything, and they're doing it towards them, and people get nervous. You don't have to do that, okay? So just hold the sharpener on your board or on a solid surface, and have the knife at a slight angle. And what you want to imagine is that there is a matchbook in between your knife and the steel. That's what this is called. And that's the kind of the angle that you're looking for. And then just bring this against the steel. Notice that I'm bringing it toward me pretty slowly from tip to tip, all right? And then flip it and do the same thing so you get the other side of the blade. And you're going to do this about 10 times, okay? And you can do it slowly at first and then speed up as you get going, all right? But if you can't speed up because it makes you nervous, that's okay too, okay? So you do want to do this, again, every few times that you use the knife. All right? Any questions about that? All right.